It's time for my top 10 waiver wire pickups, and it's not a great environment right out there in terms of the waiver wire. It's been a weird year early on. Of course, we say that every year, or at least I do, but we have scoring way down this year, and, only 69 passing touchdowns, by far the lowest through 2 weeks of the season in a decade. Passing yardage is at an all-time low. Quarterback play is not good right now in the league. O-line play as well. But I have considered everything going on in the National Football League to come up with this top 10 list. And we'll start with number one. My number one pickup of the week, Quentin Johnston of the LA Chargers, who actually now looks like a weapon. For the first time in his career, watching Quentin Johnston, I thought, wow, he is a problem for opposing defenses. He gets downfield shots, he gets red zone love, and through 2 games, small sample size, but he is actually third in the National Football League among 217 wide receivers with at least one target, with a 38.5% first read target share. So 38.5% of the time, Quentin Johnston has been the first read for Justin Herbert. Granted, it's a low-octane passing game, and it looks like Jimmy Harbaugh is going to ruin another quarterback in Justin Herbert, at least in terms of fantasy. But Quentin Johnston, when in doubt, you go with the pedigree. That is a number one pick. Number two on my list might surprise some people, but I'm going to go Ty Chandler. I've been a big Ty Chandler guy from the beginning out of North Carolina. However, ironically, I thought people were overrating him a little bit going into this summer. But, man, he looked great last week. He really did. Of 64 running backs with at least 5 carries so far, Chandler is second in yards before contact per attempt, and he's top 5 in missed tackles forced per attempt. Also, an explosive run percentage per fantasy points data. Now, he got a little bit more run than Aaron Jones last week. There's a chance that Aaron Jones nicked something, because that's what Aaron Jones does. And I think Ty Chandler is easily a top 20 running back if Aaron Jones is out. Pretty good offensive line in Minnesota, although they're better blocking for the pass. Also, and I'm going to keep going to Tyler Johnson for the Rams, especially now that Cooper Kupp is also out. It's one thing last week, and he is the Puka Nacua backup, as I said. But now you really need Tyler Johnson's inside-outside versatility. He's only owned in 11% of Yahoo leagues, even coming out of last week. So he finished second on the team in route share as well. He didn't go off, but hey, he's still very much involved, 72% route share. How about a little Bucky Irving action there at running back in Tampa? It pains me to say it because I am a Rachaad White stan. That is my guy, but among 64 receivers or running backs with at least 5 carries, Irving is 5th in yards before contact per attempt with 3.50. White is 56th at 52. So Bucky Irving is creating a lot more on his own. I actually know Rachaad White. I've had conversations with Rachaad White. He came on my SiriusXM show last year and told me that he's bulked up to withstand the rigors of, the pounding that he'll take as a bow cow. And by the way, he took a pounding last year, came through big time as a top 5 running back, but I do think it's robbed him of a little bit of his juice. Next up on the list, and again, we're going for knockout blows for the most part. Anybody can pick somebody up on a Sunday morning and get you 6 points. We're looking for dudes who are going to be needle movers, like Jalen Nailor for the Minnesota Vikings, who is owned in 0.0% of Yahoo leagues, but he has now scored in both games, and among 112 wide receivers with at least 5 targets, Nailor is 8th with an ADOT of 17.2 average depth of target, yet he has got the 28th best catch rate at 80%. What does that mean? Jalen Nailor is balling. And Geno Smith is next on my list. He may not be balling, but solid schedule upcoming. You got Jackson Smith and Jigba showing well in week number 2. Obviously, DK. I like the schedule. Miami, Detroit, New York Giants, and San Fran. He is 3rd in the league in completion percentage over expectation, and he is 1st in adjusted completion rate, which accounts for drops. So again, what does that mean? Geno Smith is playing well in the new system. So I actually like him more than Derek Carr. For the long term, because Carr has burned me too many times. I'm worried that the showing of Derek Carr is a setup, but you can certainly pick him up as well over Geno Smith. I give the slight edge to Geno. Then I'm going to go to Samaje Perine for the Kansas City Chiefs, only owned in 4% of Yahoo leagues. I know Carson Steele is there. By the way, that name sounds fake. He also sounds like he's trying to be a superhero out there. I'm only kidding. But Samaje Perine, he is the receiving option in this backfield. And I'll default to that for now. Let's see what they do with Kareem Hunt or whatever. But Jerick McKinnon a couple of years ago, carried the ball like 3 times a game and still had impactful games, a lot of them actually, especially down the stretch. How about the Monday night special or the Thursday night special last week? Jonnu Smith, who checked in this week with a top 12 at the tight end position, first read target share at 25%. And guess what? Skylar Thompson, he and his 4.7 yards per attempt is going to be a check down Charlie, and he's going to be looking for Jonnu Smith, most likely going forward. I'll also throw Mike Gesicki on here, and it's against a little bit of my better judgment because I have nicknamed him Flash Gesicki because, man, he flashes at times. He also sounds like a superhero, but not consistently. Why is that? Well, he's finesse. I mean, he's a softer kind of tight end, honestly. He's not much of a finger or hand in the ground, inline guy. I mean, that just is what he is. He's kind of like a glorified wide receiver out there. But he is 3rd at tight end so far with a 25% first read target share. I actually wrote on Sunday morning, like, no Higgins. Jamar Chase is going to see a lot of McDuffie, the stud corner. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Mike Gesicki flashed and made some plays for them because they need playmakers, and lo and behold, he did. So on the chance that we got something here with Gesicki and Burrow in what's been a tight end friendly offense, then I would pick him up. He could drive us a little crazy and a little nuts and get us upset, but they do have a tight end committee there. But he is a very athletic tight end capable of making big plays as he made last week. And then last but not least, Hunter Henry for the New England Patriots, for our producer Michael Cohen's New England Patriots. Now, I've always been a Hunter Henry fan from day one. I call him Hunter Hendry. That is a Goodfellas reference right there. But he is a good fella, Hunter Henry. He was sure good in week number 2. Now, that game, because he got out-targeted by Austin Hooper in week 1. Let's not forget. But that game had a clear stamp of matchup guy. They saw something, obviously, and they went after it with Hunter Henry. But he's still a good player who gets a lot of snaps and a lot of reps, and he is money in the red zone. And Jacoby Brissett is pretty darn good. Probably an upgrade, or definitely an upgrade over Mac Jones.
Thanks for watching, but don't let the betting insights end here. If you want an extra edge this football season, you can get a month of VSiN Pro right now absolutely free. That means access to our betting insights, analysis, and tools like our betting splits at 0 cost to you. Click the link in the description to sign up.